far as the financial world is concerned, I think there have been two major problems. One has been addressed, or is being addressed. That is that we are moving away from a cash society, more chip and pin and touch and all the rest of it, that takes 3, 4, 5 days to clear, whereas cash is cleared. And pubs will traditionally take most of their money at the weekends, so they pay their money in on Monday. A lot of the pubcos actually charge the landlord once a week on a Tuesday. So it's great, they've got cash, they've got the money. But if it's a card, then it's not cleared. But that is being addressed, and I think partly because of touch and go, or whatever they call it, that problem is receding. The other major problem is having nobody to talk to. You can't go and natter with your bank manager. Well, of course, when I started out, I had been a bank manager, I'd been in corporate planning, and my bank manager was actually a guy who'd previously been my assistant. And somehow, through all the changes in Midland Bank and HSBC, I get handed on. I don't tick the boxes, I don't do enough turnover or enough staff or whatever it is, but I get handed on. Now, if you don't get that, you can have a serious problem. Let's take an example with something like cleared effects, credit cards, where you've got the money and you know it's going to be paid because it's been approved on the machine, but it just hasn't cleared. And you've got to pay somebody, or you're not going to get your supplies. You need to be able to say to somebody, look, I'm going to go overdrawn on uncleared effect by £1,000, but you know the money's good. Whereas what tends to happen is that the computer at 3 o'clock in the morning actually sees, no, bang, gone, direct debit rejected. And that is a major problem when you're a small business. I mean, you've got enough to do anyway. I remember talking to George Osborne, we were still Chancellor, and saying, look, you guys do not understand small business. You know, you're there at 3 o'clock in the morning, or you want to go to bed, but the VAT return's got to be in tomorrow. Now, will digital tax and monthly VATs make that harder or easier? I don't know. And if you ask my children, who are just under 40 to mid-40s, their memories of Easter, they will say, Dad, going away with us, we'd go down to a family-owned cottage on the coast. Dad sitting there doing the long form. That was the PAYE return for the year. You didn't get the monthlies and things like you do now, for the whole year. And of course, it is better now, because in those days, as long as you paid something in PAYE each month, you never got chased. You weren't sending a return, so they didn't know how much was due. At the end of the year, you did your summary, which showed how much was due, and you've just been sending £100 a month to keep them happy, and you actually now owe £5,000 and you've got to pay it because it's the end of the year, and you did. And that was normal business in small business. It's the way it worked. That cash flow advantage is gone. And with VAT going digital and monthly, there's going to be a cash flow advantage lost to people who are paying, not reclaiming. What you're effectively getting is anything from 90 days to, 120 days it'll be, won't it, to 1 day of free loan from the government, which improves your cash flow. Then you have to pay, but that's all going to change. Yes, I do. A start's been made, and that is important. And one of the great things that FinTech is doing is drawing attention to it. Until you acknowledge there's a problem, until somebody points it out. And I had a little run-in with protesters in Parliament Square 3 months ago, who were on about the environment. I sympathise with them. But there was a guy protesting, carrying a plastic banner, wearing rubber shoes, drinking beer out of a plastic cup, and the girl standing next to him was drinking water out of a plastic bottle. And I said, hey, you guys should go home. You've done your bit. And he said, what? I said, the governor of the Bank of England has got the governor of the French equivalent bank to join with him in writing a letter to the governors of every central bank in the world, and saying it is time that we brought environmental responsibility in line with financial responsibility and dovetailed them together. Yeah, you've got a governor of the Bank of England on your side. You've done your job. And I think a lot of good has been done, and that we are now, we're here. We are now talking about addressing these issues. You have to start somewhere. Well, if I could have brought attention years ago, it would have been someone to talk to, and the problem of clear effects. But going forward, I think that a bank who took the bull by the horns and really went into supporting SMEs would clean up. They would reduce bad debt level, because a lot of bad debt actually comes from ignorance. They would encourage output, but they have got to have people who know what they're doing. And it's the same old thing. Maybe have experienced it. Poachers and gamekeepers. I'm 70, but I'm still active and I'm still looking for work. But I can contribute, and you can head an awful lot off with knowledge and experience.